Well, Jodie's father, Peter, joins us now for his first television interview since this verdict and conviction. Good morning to you, Peter.
Morning.
There are so many senseless knife crime stories, so many young lives getting wasted. I've got to say, of all of them that I've read and heard about, what happened to your girl is one of the worst and the most senseless and the most wasteful. To snuff out this young teenage girl's life in the way that they did, and apparently it was a mistake. It's just incomprehensible.
Yeah, it was a mistake. And you said it all, it is quite incomprehensible. How do you come to terms with something so senseless when she did nothing wrong, like literally nothing wrong, and then you get something so ferocious as a stab in the back with a huge knife, which almost passed through her, actually, without getting too graphic.
Staggering.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I will never come to terms with it, and neither will my family.
One of the poignant details of what happened to Jodie was that it happened on your birthday. You were celebrating your 39th birthday. So you were out on a day which you should be celebrating.
Been a celebration,
and for every year you should be celebrating, and is now marked by what happened to Jodie. You
100%.
were then taken by the police to the police station so you could find out more, but over the radio you heard, didn't you, what had happened?
We got a phone call telling me that something's happened and we're coming to get you. I didn't quite know at the time, and then when the police turned up, they said Jodie's been attacked. And then, yeah, you're quite right, on the way home I heard it over the radio, because we were intentionally going to the hospital. The police were picking me up to go to the hospital. And then, over the radio it said, reroute Jodie's dad to home because she's gone. So that's when I found out. That was the moment, yeah.
And you'd just been hoping that you could go and see her in hospital and she'd pull through, and at that moment...
Well, to be honest, it was all a bit of a... it was all so bizarre and crazy that I was just sort of riding a roller coaster, if you know what I mean. So... but I do remember the radio announcement to say that take Peter Chesney, or take Jodie's dad back home because she's gone, and I dropped to the floor in the police van.
You brought Jodie up. You were separated from your wife, and then you brought Jodie up and her sister. So you were just incredibly close to her.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm a father of a daughter. I can't imagine the horror of what you've been through.
Well, I pray you never do.
I think everyone hopes it's never them, but it was you. How have you been able to deal with this?
One day at a time, I think. I've said that before. You have to do one day at a time because you're not trained for this. No human being is trained for this level of grief, right? So you just have to just deal with it. I don't know. I've got another daughter, Lucy, who's fantastic, and I want to be strong for her because she's lost her best friend and her sister, right?
And it's had a big impact on her.
Massive impact.
You described her as very extrovert, outgoing.
Lucy, yeah. But now she's changed a hell of a lot, and we're all just dealing with it a day at a time.
How do you deal with her life and allowing her freedom to go and lead a normal life? Every time she leaves the front door with her friends, your heart must...
Lucy?
Yeah.
She doesn't so much anymore, anyway, you know? Like, when you mention about her being an extrovert, that's absolutely right, but now she's changed so much, you know what I mean? So,
is she frightened to go out?
Yeah, she's frightened to go out, absolutely. She's frightened to go out.
The mentality of a large young man going up to a girl in a park and using a big knife to stab her to death is beyond any of my comprehension. What is going on with these young people, do you think, where life has become so indiscriminate, so meaningless?
I think young people nowadays are so much more willing to use knives and hurt people in such a ferocious and deadly manner. It's more now so than it was before.
But why do you
That's the only thing I can
Have you learned anything
analyse.
from this trial, from anything about the mindset, about what's going on here? We're all trying to get a handle on what's going on. But...
Yeah, well, that's the thing, me too. I won't sit here and pretend to know what's going on with young people and the culture, but it's definitely a cultural thing, I think. It's got to be a cultural thing, right? You know, we need to get into the deep root of why young people are so flippantly hurting other people.
Are you clear about why Jodie got caught up in this? Why she was attacked?
I think so. Yeah, it was the person that attacked her, Svensson, went to attack somebody else, a rival drug dealer, which Jodie was nothing to do with, obviously. I don't quite know how he got it so wrong. That's what puzzles me.
Because the rival was
I don't get it.
Not female.
Apparently not. No, apparently not, according to the court case and according to his, what he was saying in the Old Bailey, that no, he was after somebody else. I just don't quite know why. She's obviously female. Yeah.
None of it makes any sense.
No, it doesn't.
You are trying to find some good out of this horror.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we started up the Jodie Chesney Foundation, which is, we're registered now, and we're coming up with initiatives. I've got a great team behind me who are like years and years in youth services, and we want to try and make some good, because I'm doing it almost as if I'm sort of Jodie, if you know what I mean, because that's what she would do. So I'm sort of carrying on her kindness. Because all the stuff that she did, all the scouting, all the volunteering work that she did, was all off her own back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm sort of acting as her, if you like.
For those who didn't know Jodie, what kind of girl was she?
Honest, transparent. She wore her heart on her sleeve. Funny. Just so kind. Very, very kind. Honestly, there wasn't a bad bone in her body. I actually don't need to emphasise the honestly. There wasn't a bad bone in her body. Everybody knows that. It would be impossible for me to think of anybody less deserving.
Peter, our heart breaks for you. Everyone, I think, who watches this will just be thinking, thank God that isn't our family that's had to deal with this. I take my hat off to you for the way you're coping with it, for trying to sort this foundation and make a real difference and get a change. But ultimately, you've been hit with the most horrendous situation, and we all just...
Well, let's see if I can inspire a new generation of kids and people that don't think this is OK.
I know. Knife crime statistics hit a record high, offences up 8%. Police recorded more than 43,000 offences, including involving knives or sharp objects in the last year, the highest since comparable records began. When it's out of control, isn't it? And, it's affected your family so much. Good luck with the work that you do in Jodie's name. It's so important.
Yeah.
Peter, thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you.